We live? We're live!
All right, guys. Happy Friday.
Good morning. 10:30.
Sorry we're late.
Not exactly more. I bet they were all waiting on us.
Yeah, I know.
Don't worry, guys. We're here. You're safe.
So it's a big weekend coming up with Super Bowl. You know who's playing?
No. Didn't know it was the Super Bowl either.
You know
Football's
who's-
not really my sport.
You know who's going to be
Who's playing?
twerking the halftime?
No, I don't know that either.
J-Lo.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah, 4K. Cool. Well, let's get into it. It's the Chiefs and the Niners.
Okay, got it. Local team, I
Yeah.
believe.
Yes.
Who are you guys rooting for? I'm rooting for the commercials. That's as I usually do. All right. So we were talking about what the heck do we talk about today, and I had coffee this morning with a friend, and we were talking about some of the really exciting conversations that we're having with retailers in particular about. Oftentimes we'll go into these conversations and we're talking about how we can use Byte Technology in the existing in-store experience to remove friction.
Mm-hmm.
And then we guide that conversation to something much bigger, which is, well, it's what we always talk about. What if instead of thinking about how you improve the in-store experience or your delivery, what if your products were embedded where consumers already spend time? What if you could see in states, your inventory levels, your consumer engagements of all of these micro stores that are delivering the ultimate convenience to your existing customers, helping you acquire new customers, and they're always top of mind. It's you're omnipresent essentially, and that really fired me up.
That sounds futuristic. When's that going to be available?
Now, the time is now. Hence
wow.
the title Carpe Diem. We are entering this age of where technology is unlocking entirely new channels through which to reach consumers. And this is offices and hospitals and hotels and gyms and airports and apartment buildings, all these places where we all spend time away from home. As a retailer, you gain that foothold, that real estate space, that's incredibly sticky. That allows you to rival the Amazons of the world with Prime and same day delivery because your products are already there.
So you're pushing your products to the customer.
You're pushing your products to the customer, but you're also, at the end of the day, these are points of sale. They can also act as distribution points. And so you get to the point where you can predict your consumers' needs and the product's already there. It's very exciting.
Yeah, let's talk about specific examples because I see behind us we're
now sharing office space with fridges because we don't have enough room.
We are exploding at the seams of our production area back there, so we're moving into larger space. And I hear good things from the sales team that we are selling hundreds of fridges a month now, and it is really catching on. And let's talk through some specific examples of not who is signing up for this, but what are some of these unique use cases for the technology? Yeah.
Do you want to go through real live ones right now, or some of the paint the picture?
Let's talk some of the benefits for some of the more popular ones like workplaces. Why? What's the opportunity with workplaces?
Yeah, so this is a really interesting piece, right? Is that there's clear value for consumers because you can buy a salad literally 20 feet away from where you're working day in and day out. But for offices, for employers, in this day and age, Facebooks and the Googles of the world, they've already demonstrated the ROI of having good, healthy food available around the clock.
Return on investment.
Yeah, ROI being return on investment. Yes.
Yeah.
And that's in terms of productivity, certainly health and wellness, particularly as more companies move to a self-insured model, and just the culture of the workplace. And so there's clear value there, but most companies, 95% plus companies, they can't afford to buy that food. It's really expensive to do. And so with a Byte Technology store and the products from our clients, they're able to bring fresh meals in-house at a fraction of the price. sometimes free of charge, depending on how much sales volume is going through that location. So there's a huge win and a huge value, huge incentive for offices to, welcome with open arms retailers that are trying to extend their products into these non-traditional retail avenues.
And from a retailer's perspective, now that I'm thinking about this, Noah, my son, and I were getting bagels this morning, and it's a small bagel shop in Mill Valley. Bagel Friday. And I was thinking, just watching customers come in and out, and the owner of the shop doesn't have much control of the customers that they get. I don't think they do any marketing, any advertising. It's just who shows up that day. And it's tough to demand plan, but rainy days, you're gonna have slower traffic. Super Bowl Sunday, you're not gonna have any traffic. And this technology offers these maybe not bagel shop, but restaurants and food service guys an opportunity to kind of have more control over their own destiny. If they want to increase sales $5,000 a month or $50,000 a month, place one of these machines or 10 of these machines or 20 of these machines in local businesses and stock them with your products and then generate sales remotely. You don't have to set up a new store anymore and spend $100,000 to do that or wait 6 months for the ideal location to open up.
Mm-hmm.
You can do that today. And it's a huge win for the employer, for the employees, because it's building this idea of convenience. The employees are happy because they're getting fresh, healthy food that's always available. And employers love it because, for the benefits that you described.
And the other piece here, particularly if we're talking restaurants, is with the third-party delivery platforms taking more and more of those orders, this is also the opportunity to recapture that direct connection to the consumer, as well as all that data, which you lose if somebody's ordering through a DoorDash or whatnot. You're losing that relationship. Whereas a physical storefront with your goods, you're getting about 80% of people's emails through Byte's platform. You're able to recapture that, which is fantastic because that can fold into and harmonize with any marketing programs that you are doing for your own brick and mortar, existing brick and mortar presence. So that's one big bucket. Matt, just like it is a massive opportunity, and I think there will be a few big players that really seize it and meaningfully move towards, gaining that foothold and that presence in these non-traditional locations, and certainly a lot of kind of SMBs with a smaller footprint taking advantage as well. But only time will tell. And I know there's one other bucket we wanted to look at.
Yeah, so we were talking about this earlier, but I spent, as if you saw a couple of weeks ago, I spent the night in the hospital with my daughter with a broken arm and was trying to sleep in a folding chair that night. And it got me thinking, this is, we've seen traction on from hospitals and food suppliers like Airmarks that support these hospitals, but there could be a bigger opportunity. Do you want to talk through that?
With patient feeding?
Patient feeding or
the hospitals
24/7 pharmacies in hospitals.
Yeah, hospitals are an interesting one because there's so many facets there. There's the employees that are around the clock. There's patients that are around the clock. There's cafeterias that sometimes it's a loss leader for food service, and so we're seeing operators use our technology to not only offer that third shift and round the clock access to quality meals, but in some opportunities, it also allows them to close cafeteria a little bit earlier. And then with patient feeding, so for patients that are, basically where the nurses are grabbing ready-made meals, we have a few locations that are using Byte to track the data as to the nurse that took it and then the patient that should be billed to. And that's allowing the hospital to actually recapture the revenue dollars.
And something else we're thinking through is, what if you could, because the pharmacy had very limited hours at the UCSF in Oakland that we were staying at, but what if you could open a 24/7 CVS or Walgreens in a hospital with just the essentials?
With just the essentials, absolutely.
The 20 highest.
Even in an apartment building or a large office complex. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So this is all kind of, instead of focusing on the existing brick and mortar experience, extending your product out through these micro stores. that are embedded in existing spaces.
Mm-hmm.
The other bucket is looking at the in-store experience and leveraging Byte Technology stores to offer a frictionless way to grab and go. And this is preventing walkouts. This is increasing that average kind of checkout. You imagine you're heading out. This always happens, actually. Home Depot. You do the Home Depot trip on the weekend, right? We're working on a house project, and I'd say probably 100% of the time. I don't know why it is, but you leave that store so hungry, and all you want is something to eat. Grab and go salads, snacks. They've got the snacks and the drinks, but there's no fresh component there.
Yeah.
So a retailer like Home Depot actually bringing a fresh offering in, and in many instances, this is a partner that's doing the replenishment, and Home Depot's just taking a revenue share, but they're adding value to that consumer. They're meeting that consumer's needs, and they're getting some additional revenue, risk-free revenue off the top of that as well.
Yeah. More feedback for Home Depot. Their carpeting selection is a little limited. Keep that in mind.
What?
Last time we were looking. Okay, so anything else you want to talk about in-store existing retail?
No, we're all looking off the screen at the notes that we've taken. I think we touched on everything. I don't even know how many minutes in we are. It doesn't tell us. Oh, 11 minutes. Perfect. I think that's good.
All right, cool. Well, I appreciate you guys stopping by. Thank you for the time. Enjoy your Friday. Enjoy your Super Bowl weekend.
Yes.
Don't forget.
Go Niners.
Be great. See you next week.
Bye, guys.